I cut that off a little bit too early. God damn it.
Nah, it's my fault. I didn't time it right. Heist! I just cracked a beer.
Nice.
Heist.
In fairness,
I feel like this is heist asterisk, which is to say, like, we're doing what you do when you do heists, but you guys aren't stealing anything.
yeah, we're heisting to blow stuff up.
I have dice!
Yeah.
Oh, whoa!
Yes!
Dice! And also, in fairness, we are stealing people, which if you consider people to be a resource, then we are stealing it. And
Which
this
they
would
are.
be a proper heist.
But does it count as stealing if you don't have it after it's stolen?
Yes.
I think that makes us Robin Hood.
No, like,
Yeah, taking from the rich and giving to the poor.
no, I hear what you're saying.
And supporting GME.
Supporting GME.
Alright, so, y'all wanna just fucking do it?
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna catch you on the left foot. Okay, doing it real quick. There's a fucking clipboard in my hand. Here we go. For context, this clipboard is spoken to you guys in character by Bilgy. You guys are basically doing the last summary of the plan before you get going. He gets up and speaks. Throw the underwater mines right into the bay. Bring a rope, tie him to the bottom so they'll stay. I'll bring the third charge to place upon the boat. Be careful with the airbag. 10 minutes till you float. The druid can call a tuna fish for entry and egress. We need a cover sniper. Good thing you're the best. The bombs go off tomorrow and should take down 3 good ships. 5 are there right now, so be wary of your 6. While you set up the charges, I'll cover your back. And Jane, stay non-lethal. We can't blow the attack. A shape is in the water. I guess that means it's time. Deep breath. Just stick to the plan and we'll be fine. He snaps his fingers. Welcome to Bloodwine.
That was beautiful, Will.
Yeah, it was really, like, very poetic. It rhymed.
Thank you. Sorry, I was caught off guard. I heard a boo-doo-doo-doo, and so I thought we lost someone.
Oh! Okay.
Nope. We're all here.
Okay, we're all here. We're all good. Okay. Y'all know what an in media res is?
Explain it for us, Will.
Excellent. So, basically, I'm going to start this. Jane, you're getting into place. Croakwill, you have summoned the tuna. This is a full-size creature, right? The full extent of your abilities?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are actively taking control now that this thing has gone beneath the ship. And Sun and Bilgy are literally in midair about to drop in the water. Let me know when you guys are good, and then go.
Can we go over the plan in
Okay,
a not
yes. For the
poetic way?
summary of viewers that have not watched the previous episode, or for the players who completely forget last week's episode, what is happening is we have devised a really convoluted plan involving an angry
maneuver,
tuna
you might say.
that Gabe has written down in its entirety. So,
Yes.
the summary of the plan is thus. I have summoned an angry tuna. Gabe, playing Sun, has a bag full of air that will get him 10 minutes of air. In that time, he is going to go out and set some amount of mines. 2 mines that will blow up another certain amount of ships. 3 ships. So that in the morning time, we will detonate them while another ship is landed on the dock. We will then storm that ship with all the prisoners that are on this beachhead and take over that ship. We will then use that ship to fight off another ship that is patrolling the area.
I think the Bilgewater was going to go after.
Bilgewater was
first.
doing that. Okay.
Yes. In parallel, the Bilgewater will take on that second ship.
Right.
Yeah, in parallel, Bilgewater is going to take on the ship that is going off to do whatever.
God, I love it when a plan comes together. Just...
And
I didn't have to do anything.
yeah.
So, and then also, okay, so what's my role here? I guess is what I'm asking.
Your role is the detonator.
Yeah.
Yes. Right now, tonight, your role is cover fire, sniper, keeping an eye on the situation from above. And then in the morning, your role is to set up the chain reaction and to provide cover fire and support for the people storming the boat.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Right,
how is how I'm going to set off the chain reaction going to be pretty obvious?
Yes, I
Okay.
have made a rune on one of your bolts that will detonate on impact.
Yes.
You've done it to 3 of them, I think.
I think I gave you 3, but honestly, I'm probably just gonna boon you when you shoot.
Okay.
In that case, why don't we high octane this? Which streamer are we following? Are we following Jane getting into the sniper's nest, or the crew getting into the water?
Jane, let's go with Jane first.
Jane first?
Yeah, the water's
Okay.
probably cold.
All right, so we're keeping you paused in midair.
I'm anxious.
Putting your little toesies in, and you're like, ooh, a little cold.
So, Jane, you've made it back after making sure everything was ready to go and getting the signal. Now it is after dark. Currently you're at that sort of high point. You remember the route back. You can see that the Bilgewater is getting in position. And you've already started moving. It's been about 10 minutes, which you suspect is about when the dive's going to happen. And you are currently in the jungle now. You can see that there's, the prisoners, same thing, counted in rows. 4 rows of 10, 1 of 4, with a bunch of guards. And there are 2 snipers' nests. Do you remember about them?
Yes, one of them was hard to get out of. One of them was easy to get out of.
Mm.
I think the one that's hard to get out of was closer.
Yeah. Which one are you going to?
What's the distance between them?
Currently, where you are in the jungle, you're probably about equidistant. That being said, you're probably looking at about 100 meter through to 300 meters from the one high point, and then the other one's closer to 2 to 400.
Okay, so if I was at one of them and wanted to switch to the other one, how long would that take me?
Probably 2-3 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I think for the one that's harder to get out of for the night, to just keep an eye on things, because hopefully, I won't actually need to be shooting anything.
All right.
And then to set off the chain reaction, I'm going to move to the other one.
All right. So here at night, you stay far away from the camp. You skirt around the edge to where there's kind of a jutting crag towards the end of the bay. You get towards where the even ground ends. From here, it's big sharp rocks at this kind of angle. You have to trek between them, or you could scale up top, grab something, but it's a few meters before you'd be able to catch something, and then get on top. You know that the sniper's nest is on the far end from where you sighted it beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But then after you get either on top or around the rock, if you're on top, you're going to have to slide down without making noise. If you go around, you're going to have to climb a cliff face to get there.
Where is my character sheet? I'm gonna say the slidey route.
All right. So you get partway in. Want to give me a grace roll?
I do. I do indeed want to give you a grace roll. With my dice that I have.
This is a 21. Sorry, a 25. You can take stamina to pass.
Okay, I rolled an 18. I will take 3 to pass.
Sorry, it's a 25 to pass. I
Okay.
feel like I jumbled my words there, so it should be 7 damage.
7. I'll take 7 damage.
You have to brace yourself and push a little. You do a bit of like the wall jump. You like hup, hup, hup. You get a bit of a jump. You have to go low, and then you leap. You kind of thud against the stone, but you catch the top, and then from there it's easy enough to pull yourself up. Now, want to give me a grace roll to jump and land without falling in the water, or a delicate roll to slide down the slope quietly.
I'll do another grace.
All right, this one's another 25.
Okay, I need to take 10 damage for that one, but I'll do it.
Damn.
All right. From there, you're a little winded, but you're really visible on top of the rock, so you just have to go with it. You trust your gut, you give a bit of a hop. Your heart stops for a second as you're not sure if you're going to make it, but you hit down hard, you cushion yourself low, and although both of your feet are sturdy, the hand you use to catch yourself on the front, your fingertips go on the edge of the rock, but you push back and you're good. From here, just like before, how it's these like deep jutting bits, there's a bunch of sand that's formed a comfortable spot, but otherwise you've almost got like rock cover in front of you and around you.
Perfect.
You're setting up a sniper's nest. You're going to have to get comfortable. Tell me about that. What are you using to get comfortable, to make sure you can have a good inhale and a good like firing position? From where you are, you're actually like a good bit higher than the ships are, so you actually get a good downward view of the decks.
Yeah, so look for like a good place to set my crossbow down. Get a good, like either a laying down position or like a comfortable sitting position, because I'm probably going to be sitting here for a little while. Making it comfy for myself.
All right. You're looking around, you kind of... As long as you, like, sit back, you could probably wait here and not be seen by the ships. Once you lean forward, there's a divot in the rock. You manage to find a good one just to kind of, you know, like, rest the crossbow properly. From there, you're going to need something to cushion you on your side for you to be in the right firing position.
Can I find, like, a big leaf? Or, like, a rock? Or, like, a
They're
log?
all the way over in something. What do you have on you right now?
Rope. And a tent and a bedroll. So I can put my bedroll, like, down.
All right. You leave your bedroll kind of... You think about rolling it out, but you leave it only half rolled so that you can lean on it. It's almost like a cushion, and then you're steadied for the shot.
Perfect.
Are you able to go to the bathroom from here?
Good question.
It's a hypothetical.
Hypothetically.
You don't need to tell Stream. Just,
Okay.
do you or do you not have a plan for how to deal with this?
Yes, I have a plan.
I have
Okay.
a tent and rope.
All right, last but not least, you've got your quiver, which I presume you take off your back because it's weird. You just kind of plonk it next to the rock, much more comfortable. You have the 3 explosive bolts that were put together, so you have 2 redundant ones. And you're set in place. You can see the top of the ships. You think you're good?
Yeah?
All right. Whoomph! There's a splash, cannonballing down. Sun, you are underwater.
Yes. I have removed my my heavy brigandine that I usually wear because that's not what you want to be swimming in. So I'm just in underclothes, and I have my kind of the bomb maker's tools in a little toolbox that I've sealed up, so they stay dry. And
All right.
I have 2 big barrels with me, kind of waiting for the trout to show up.
All right. Croquill, you're a trout. Or not a trout, tuna.
A tuna. I'm a big tuna. And I notice a splash. I mean, I have to notice a splash. There's erraticness at the surface.
There's 2 splashes. On instinct, you kind of like turn away a little to get some distance. And then when you turn back, you see that one of them's a person, the other one's a tuna. It doesn't look like you on a really gross, inherent level, but it looks identical to you.
Well, I know the plan, and the plan is not to attack the other tuna.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna swim up to Sun and probably do like a little giddy up kind of thing, go in underneath him.
All right. So, Sun, as you gather the last of your equipment, you're going, oh shit, you see 2 tuna. One of them is kind of circling around, looking for something to catch. The other one's kind of swimming up underneath you.
All right, the one that's swimming up underneath me, I got like a little rope, and I'm hoping to put it like with the mouth. I feel like that's the most comfortable way for a fish to carry something. And the other ends are tied to barrels, and then I'm just going to hang on to one of the barrels, I think.
All right. You let this thing come loose. The one that's circling around grabs the barrels and then starts taking off. You actually lose grip. And it kind of like turns around and cycles back to you.
Okay. Ooh. Getting used to this breathing apparatus. I feel like I'm still trying to talk, but it's just...
Yeah, it's... If anything, you're getting used to the fact that there's a section underneath, or like attached to your mask, that's kind of going shlunk, 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 shlunk.
Yay. Well, I've got a good firm grip on that rope now. I give the tuna a loving pat.
Which tuna with what rope? What's the system here?
Okay, so the tuna that came up underneath me, I kind of had a rope ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the tuna. I'm hanging onto one of the barrels, and I'm giving him a tap to say, like, here we go. I'm ready to go. I'm assuming that's the croquill one.
Okay, so there's like 2 sets of barrels that are on one rope, and you're holding onto that rope, or onto the barrel?
Onto the rope. Like I
get the geometry here.
Okay, geometry. Long rope. Barrels are not like I'm assuming the fish needs kind of clearance from the barrels, so it's like a kind of like a tow rope. Like you might be almost like water skiing or something. You're towing baggage around, and so I'm kind of behind the fish, hanging onto that rope.
So the rope, how is the fish holding the rope, or how is the rope affixed to the fish?
Middle. In the middle. The fish is holding the rope in the middle, and it's got a barrel on either end.
The fish is holding the rope how?
With his mouth.
Okay. So then you're basically holding onto one load, so it's asymmetric?
When you put it that way, I can hang on to both ropes and kind of maintain the barrels and keep them balanced as we're going.
All right, so you try to do this again. You try again with the barrel on the other side. It doesn't work. It comes around another side. You kind of get over, but at this point, you're where the like fin on top is.
All right. Hey, is the rope in the fish's mouth?
The rope is. It's one of those, like, it just isn't doing it. If the fin wasn't there, you could grab it. If the rope was closer, you could grab it. But neither of those is working. You can't affix yourself to this.
Okay, you cut out there for a second, but I got the gist of it.
It's not working.
Not working. Okay. Well, in that case, I don't want to cut the rope in half because I think both barrels being like a symmetric load is better than one or the other. And we need Bilgy to run distraction, so I can't be weighing him down. Okay. I'm coming up to the surface at this point to refill my air, and I'm going to take both
You don't need to refill your air for like 8 more minutes.
Okay. I'm going to... Okay, new plan. I'm going to tie the 2 barrels together. But there's still that long rope that makes like a loop coming off, going back to the other one. But now they're together in one package, and I'm going to sit with the barrels, kind of, there's a rope handle there that I can hang on to, just the way the barrels are tied. Not like built as a handle, but I can hang on to one of the ropes on this barrel load that I've created. So one hand on that, other hand on this loop for the fish to grab onto. And I'm waiting for him to come make another pass, and then I'm just going to water ski, baby.
So you're watching as the tuna that's underneath you just kind of goes back for another long cycle. This other one kind of circles a little higher as you're like tying this. It goes for another grab, and then here you're like awkwardly, it's pressing against your elbow this way on the side of the tuna, and you lose grip.
Why don't you just have Bilgy take it?
Oh, what? All right, fine. I'll split into 2 teams. Tuna team and or barrel
it's
team.
It's been 4 minutes.
Sun team. All right. Okay.
Might want to go up, refill it.
Yeah, I'll go up and refill. Okay, before you go up and refill, I am going to get. I'm assuming Crowquill is the. Okay, I'm gonna just give the rope to Crowquill, and have him take the barrels. Just take him. I'll catch you up.
So, Crowquill, you impulse this thing. It grabs the loose barrels and starts like cycling around, getting closer to it. Sun, you surface and you like take off the mask. You go to refill it. You're like, sorry, it needs to reoxidize. And you look like above the deck of the ship, like everyone is there looking at you like, what the fuck? Come on, what the fuck? What's happening? You're just sitting here holding a mask. What's your response?
You didn't hear what the internet... Sorry, I just didn't hear what they said. It cut out exactly to block that.
They basically said, what the fuck?
Fish wrangling's harder than I thought it would be, alright? Just give me a second here. And I am...
Tiana and Kennedy kind of give each other an awkward look. The bag feels fullish, and so you go back in. You think it's full again.
Does Crowquill Fish have the barrels and he's zipping down towards the other boat? Yep. All right. I'm kind of making a motion for Bilgy Fish to come a little closer.
Bilgy comes closer. There is a 2-meter long tuna in front of you.
All right. I take off my pants, and I have one pant leg in each hand. I'm wrapping it around the wrist, and I'm throwing it over so that it creates like
the crotch of it in his mouth.
Right in his mouth. And I feel like that's the best way to do this.
You get whacked in the side by a tuna tail.
Yeah, I kind of figured this was going to be a problem.
There's a little waggling of the fins.
Okay, like
maneuver. You can just go on the fin.
I'll grab onto the. I'll try to grab onto the fins. I don't want to slow them down though. Is the thing.
All right, give me brawn, grace, or delicate.
Oh, this is going to be a brawn roll. That is a.
Put the crotch of your pants in his mouth.
As soon as he said he took off his pants, I was like, oh, I know where this is going.
Listen, it would be a good maneuver if the fish was a little smaller. I got a 27.
27. Okay, you have a nice firm grip. Bilgy surges off. Like, have you ever used like what's it called? The footy things for the diver, the flapper. What are they called?
Flippers?
Yeah, flippers.
Yeah, flippers. Yeah.
I was very close.
Yeah.
You know how the difference between swipping and flippers is like, oh, geez.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, you go fast.
this is like 2 further levels. You're gripping on, and you actually don't have grip on the fins. They're kind of loose, but you don't really need to. It's your like forearm and elbow section that's kind of gripping more than anything else.
Okay.
After a little while, you're steady enough that you can get a bit more of a grip. You're getting a lot closer. Want to give me a grace or delicate roll? You've used the brawn one.
That will be delicate. And that is...
You cut out.
It's like poetically cutting out,
Yeah,
you know?
it's-
It's always the right spot.
I know! I don't know what it is!
What did you roll?
17.
17. All right, so you take... I presume you take damage to pass here.
Yeah!
All right, you take 8 damage. You
Alright.
suddenly lose it on the elbows, and you actually just barely have a few fingers gripped, but you get a little bit onto the fins, and then you can get the grip again. By now, you can see that there's one big hull, and then 2 small hulls on either side in a crescent shape. You're also starting to see very vaguely the bottom here. It's very clear water, but it's still kind of deep, so you can't see very far. There's like strands of kelp, and there's some reef-feeding fish around here.
Oh.
Not a lot of, like, stones necessarily, a lot of sand.
Alright. I'm assuming one of the hulls is a lot bigger than the others.
Mhm.
Alright, head towards that big one. I know where I gotta put him.
All right. You head there on Bilgy Fish, and Croquill, I presume you follow as well with the bombs.
Yep.
All right.
Blub blub.
You kind of cycle around, and then, Sun, you're let off of Bilgy as he sort of, like, circles around a little bit, looking at you, waiting for the signal. Kind of swims from side to side along each end, looking for where you're going to place the first one.
Alright, well, first one is going to be placed sort of at the back of the boat. Second one is going to be placed at the bow of the boat, so that when it's in position, that bow explosion will trigger the other 2 magazines.
All right.
So, back one first, I think. I feel like it's less likely to be guarded.
So because they all face the same way, the rear one's going to have to be a little further, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the front one first?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Front one first.
All right. You go forward a little ways. You give the signal to Bilgy, and he makes his way up onto ship from what Jane would see ship 2 of 5. And you make your way underground. Or underwater, I should say.
Underboat.
Underboat. Jane, you are above decks. You can see Bilgy, like, kind of just bob ahead above water, notice your position, go down, and then start to presumably climb a ship where you can see there's a soldier walking by.
I shoot an arrow into the water away from Bilgy. Like to distract them.
All right. Give me a weapon roll.
Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I'm just sitting here thinking, man, I got the easy job in this heist.
Even if you get hit, you're not. It's not like you are the fish.
Yeah, that's true. And I am a 2-meter tuna taking an arrow in water. Like,
20.
All right, you pop off a shot. It's on the other... It manages to land on the closer end of the ship. The soldier kind of looks. Another one, both of them kind of go towards the rear end of the ship. They look out into the water. You can see a third soldier sort of like chide them, and then the 3 of them kind of cluster and start talking on that side of the ship. You see Bilgy clamber onto the ship, jump, catch on, turn onto the roof, and then turn into a rat.
Awesome.
build rats.
All right.
Underwater, So you have these barrels. They kind of
Yep.
float loosely. They need to be anchored in place somehow.
Yep. I was planning to find a rock. It's mostly sand here, ain't it?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay. All right. So I have my little toolbox where I'm keeping my tools. Okay. Is there any driftwood or like reefs that I could tie something to around here?
There's nothing. You would need something to weigh this down.
Okay. Well, thinking.
Let's just add more tuna to the equation.
You can add more tuna to the equation. Okay, so my toolbox, if I were to fill that with water, would that be heavy enough?
It would easily be heavy enough, but it would make it so that you would have to, like, get a second toolbox to weigh down the other one. Odds or
Right.
evens?
I'll say evens.
Actually, don't tell me which one. Just tell me what you roll.
Okay.
Chelsea and Ken, which one of you is odd? Which one of you is even?
I'm
Even.
I like how synced that was.
Yeah.
We know what the other one rolls. I always roll odds. Chelsea always rolls evens.
I got a 6.
All right. Jane, you see, this is a very large ship, the central one that Bilging is on the closer one. Or, sorry, he's a bit further on in one of the smaller ships where this isn't present. But on the main ship, it's a really big ship with a massive mast, and it's counterweighted by a sandbag on one side. If you manage to shoot it, you might be able to cause a distraction as well as provide a weight underwater.
I'll do it.
Want to give me a weapon roll?
Could I give you... Okay, so I have Arbalester?
Arbalister.
Arbalister? Would that be relevant in this situation?
All of your benefits are relevant. This is what your build is for, as far as I recall.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna do like a sniper Arbalister shot on this sandbag. Because I gotta be pretty accurate if I'm gonna be cutting like a rope.
Yeah.
So you double check, you make sure you have a broadhead, and you're aware of which side it cuts on, so you aim slightly to the side to make sure it severs instead of being caught on the rope somehow.
This is some
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so for that I have +5 damage, 2d6 once per turn.
Mhm.
So is it +5 damage in addition to an extra 2d6 for the
Mhm.
roll? Okay. I don't want to be cheating here, you know?
That's true. I did that all the time as Salus. I just combined abilities because it was like, I'm using the thing.
I'm doing
Use
the
it.
thing! Okay.
Salus would have died to the alpha bear wolf if I hadn't have done that, though.
Yeah.
29. Wait, 29 plus 5, so it'd be 34.
And then you
All right.
do sniper, so you double it.
Oh yeah, doubled plus 50.
I'll say that for sniper, save that for when it's the 1 in a million really distant shot. For
Okay.
this one, for Arbalester, you're doing it for the extra, like, chunk of damage in your maximum range.
Yeah, okay.
You pop off a shot, you sever this thing, and right as there's that splash, you see the arrow embed itself in the ship closer to where, like, Sun and the Tuna are. On the main ship, you note that there's a couple of people who go look towards where that, like, splashing sound was. There's a couple of people on the other ship who sort of, like, look around. The pair of them look at each other, and then you can see that they obviously start shouting something at each other.
Cool.
Underwater, how we doing? There is a sandbag about 20 meters away that's
My
slowly
toolbox.
sinking in the water.
Ooh. And if I do, I kind of warp over and grab it.
All right. You swim your way over a little ways. Croquill, as a tuna, you notice that something is going into the kelp. There are things in the kelp. You notice that one of these things kind of has a long, gangly thing that looks like a strand of kelp with a hook at the end. As you see Sun wade into the water, it slowly starts descending.
Like it's not trying to hook him, or like it's trying to hook him?
Like it's trying.
Can I still have the rope in my mouth, don't I? With the bomb.
Yeah, you could spit that out though, I bet.
Okay.
It would float. It would float up if you did that.
Yeah, it would float up if I were to like...
You're a tuna, you're very fast. You would have to go and then catch it when it's floating back up.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep it in my mouth for just a little bit longer as I gain speed, and then I'm going to try and go underneath its hook and just kind of like grab it and sort of yank it in a direction.
All right, give me a Druid roll.
All right. Ah. Oh, that's not a fun outcome of a roll. That's 21.
All right, it's enough. You let go, you cycle around, you have enough momentum, you grab this thing. It kind of is yanked loosely in the water. There's the hook at the one end of this thing's long strand. This thing has a body almost like a starfish that can move very faintly, but otherwise is anchored in place in the water. It starts to float. It's been rendered useless. You quickly cycle back, you catch this like couple of barrels before they surface. Sun returns with a sandbag to anchor down the first explosive.
Blub, blub.
Sun, do you want to give me a munitions roll?
I would love to. Mental or physical?
You tell me, how you flavor in this?
Well, I feel like all of the actual construction has been set up. You know, it's set to trigger on the shockwave hitting it. So, it's really just a matter of cutting the rope from Croquill fish to the right length, attaching the sandbag, and position her just right. I feel like that's like a physical task more than anything when you're underwater.
All right, throw it down.
Yeah, it's not like you exactly have measuring tape that you're using underwater. You're sort of eyeballing this shit.
I got 2 1s and a 2 there.
I know that feeling.
That is...
Do you ever do something in real life and feel like you rolled 2 1s and a 2?
All the goddamn time. And also keep you cut out again.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 19. I don't know if you heard that.
Nope. We did not hear that.
Okay.
Okay.
So, luckily, you are a highly skilled individual, so you're like, okay. And normally you would go, oh fuck, where's my measuring tape? But because of just... I'm saying this because you got such a high result with a low roll, like... You go, oh right, I don't need a measuring tape. I remember that the distance between the end of my middle finger and my elbow is like x inches. And so on the fly, you just go, okay, hup, 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 hup. You eyeball it, you like tie it down, and then you double check. You check your like breadth, which is a separate length you've measured, and it's just deep enough underwater that it should trigger when the bomb goes off.
Excellent. Throw the sandbag down. And, I guess start moving to the back of the boat. How am I doing for air?
You're not sure.
Okay, well, in that case, here's my plan. I want to move underneath the boat, around to the back, and try and surface nice and quietly, right at the back there, like right up against the rudder, and hope nobody notices me while I refill the air.
All right. You make your way over, you place yourself by the rudder, and start refilling your air.
Can I sort of like be underneath him so he doesn't have to tread water?
Yeah.
Now I was gonna say Gabe knows how to tread water very quietly without splashing. I feel like a sailor would know how to do that.
Yeah.
But would a son know how to do that?
Yeah, so it's not exactly a sailor.
But also at the same time, you need to hold your device so that it can get air, right? So
This is frustrating because I did lifeguard training. I know how to tread water, like hands out, doing all like that. Like it's not hard.
You also have to manipulate this to make sure it's like receiving oxygen properly.
No, like
yeah, that's fair. Honestly, I did some underwater stuff too. I get it.
Yeah, underwater stuff too. I'm just supporting you to make it easier for you.
Okay,
you don't
I appreciate
have
that.
to do the hardest thing that you could be doing right now.
No, I do appreciate that.
All right. So Gabe, you're almost through filling this thing up to make sure it's back at capacity. And above you hear someone going, "Something's been making a bunch of noises out here in the water. What do you think it is? Some kind of fish?"
Uh-oh.
It's not like...
Oh, you cut out.
There it goes.
It's not like it's going to get any emptier. Get a little drip like that and back underwater. I got maybe a minute and a half extra air. That might just have to be enough.
All right. You played on the safe side. You have like slightly under enough air, and then you put it back in. You start sailing off. Right as that happens, Crowquill, you feel it, so you go along. You wouldn't know this is happening. This is like the dramatic irony cut to the villains bit, but like they look and see a tuna go off and go, "Oh yeah, just a fish." Jane, you see them kind of like relax, start ignoring their previous paranoias and getting back to their rotations. Bilgy is still on the roof, kind of tracking where things are underwater, periodically kind of like scurrying down and climbing along the edge of the boat.
Cool.
What's next?
You need to tie up that second bomb.
I need to tie up that second bomb, and I need to get a... So we have that smaller bomb that was tied to the other bombs. I don't know, like, Bilgy doesn't have that. He's just ratting around, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so, in that case...
Bilgy's waiting for you to give it to him, basically.
Right. Is he going to come back in the water for that? Like, I feel like that was the plan. Like, I'm not going to be able to throw it onto the... Well, I guess I could sneak it onto the deck. Okay.
I need to be right back for a quick minute.
All right. Well, I am going to zip out to where that second bomb is going to be placed. In my brain, the second bomb was going to be placed, like, on the boat. Like, attached to it. Is that...
As long as you know this boat isn't going to be moving, you should be able to affix it to the rudder. It's just the second that they try to steer, it would either detach or they would notice.
Okay. Would I be able to, in my tools, put like a screw in the boat and then anchor it to that screw? Like,
give me a roll for that. And what roll is it?
I feel like that would be, gunsmithing, like just using boring tools to bore a little anchor point in the hull.
Fun fact, that's just early submarines.
Okay, this is looking promising. That is a 30 on the nose.
All right, you're at the base of the rudder, and then you realize this is actually built a lot like the bilgewater, where there's stabilizing fins underneath. Okay. In addition, there's a long stabilizing platform. You actually go a little deeper, and you manage to anchor it where if they manage to make away, or if they manage to peel off, like, it would ruin the detonation, but it wouldn't reveal the explosive. You anchor it kind of like with one anchor at the base of the rudder, another one way below, and then one on either of these stabilizing fins.
Perfect. My goal is to
put
the
second charge set.
All right. And, so Bilgy is on one of the smaller ships, right? The second from the left. Okay. So I'm going to swim over to that second from the left ship. No, he wants to put that on the big ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that case, I don't know what he's doing over there. I feel like he should be a fish in here so that we can...
Yeah, Jane, you see Sun doing this assembly. You see him briefly pop up here and there underneath the rear of the ship, and you see Bilgy still running interference on the front ship.
Okay.
Alright.
We need to signal somehow.
I am making to Croquill a hand gesture, like kind of like a.
All right. Are there any fish nearby me?
There's some small ones, like little things that are out too late, that are darting out outside of the kelp when they shouldn't be. Nothing big like you.
That's totally fine. Would there be some way for me to try to corral them to the surface for a snack?
Yeah, want to give me a Druid roll?
My hope is to breach the water, but I'm clearly hunting fish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that one was a little bit better. That is a 25.
All right. You use intelligence unbefitting a tuna near a nearby group of kelp, and you know that if you whack these things, you'll get a bunch of bubbles off. You kind of give them a whack. It's enough to scare some of the fish, and it's enough to make it so that there's a bunch of bubbles of air. And sure enough, that's enough to distract them, and they start going to see if there's any oxygen or if there's any little bits of kelp or plankton or what have you. As that happens, there's a bit of distraction, there's a bit of movement, and then you go and you do a big ploof. As that happens, Jane, you see Bilgy kind of look towards that direction, look at the sailors, and then Bilgy looks sort of towards the main ship. Son, what are you up to?
Cut out again. As that big splash is happening, I'm popping up near the rudder to make eye contact with Bilgy, and I feel like before sending Croquill off to do a big breach, I have removed that last charge, and I'm holding
All
it.
right. So yeah, you've got the charge just barely visible over the surface of the water, and you're there. Bilgy sees you, and you see him kind of jump off the water. There's a light sort of splash as he comes in as a rat. He swims over underwater and then surfaces. He pauses for a second, and then under his breath he goes, "Okay, do you want to come up with me? Do you want me to scout, or do you want me to set it?"
Just set it and forget it. We gotta get out of here.
All right. So Bilgy goes in rat form, puts on the backpack, and slowly starts to clamber the rope on the other end. Jane, you see movement on the ship. The soldiers are doing their rounds. They've moved past where Bilgy is, but you know that they're going to come back there any second now.
Can I fire another arrow into the water? Worked the first time.
You fire another shot, there's another pliff, and they kind of just look and then keep going about their business.
Ah, shoot.
We've used too many sound distractions.
I feel like that's a Gene problem. I am trying to get grip onto Croquill to get out of here. Before my oxygen runs out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so Jane, that shot missed. You see Bilgy, kind of clambering his way up the... He's looking for the hatch downward, and you see a soldier about to turn a corner.
What else is, behind him, perhaps? Are there any ropes, any barrels, fabric, something like that?
You look, there's a barrel, but then they'd be able to see the bolt, which would give you away. You look up, and there's one of the main sails. It's attached by a rope.
Could I, cut the rope and then maybe even, the sail, so that the sail, disconnects a little bit?
Yeah. Want to give me a roll?
I'm going to do that. Got a 20. Or 25. Because of the +5.
You miss.
Oh, shit.
Bill G notices someone turning a corner. You see him snap, and then one of the nearby barrels falls over. The soldier looks to a side. Bill G quickly pauses, holds up against the wall. Bill G's stuck.
Okay. I try again.
All right.
Is this the one in a million shot?
Same thing, second shot. This roll was a little bit better.
I feel like the more dramatic it gets, the more frequent my internet is cutting out.
It can't take it.
It can't.
Okay, what was the number?
33.
Say it again.
33.
33. You fire a shot. This one doesn't cut the sail, though. It frays the rope, so it's more fragile, but you need to be even closer on point. At this point, Bilgy hears the soldiers going back their rounds, so you see him kind of scurry up. Now he's on top of the roof, but if anybody on a nearby ship happens to look, they'll see the barrel protruding over the horizon. Soldiers are still moving around underneath.
I do it again. Another shot.
Are you gonna
Okay, so you're just
sniper
going
this one?
load, shoot, load, shoot, load, shoot,
Yeah.
like rapid fire.
God, I wish I
Until
could boon you on this.
So you cut out there.
Yes, until I cut the rope, I'm going to continue trying. I think probably this third time, and then I'll try to think of something else.
All right, give me a roll.
Okay. Here we go. Man, I count all these dice. $30 on the dot.
All right, you steady yourself, and you feel a little bit of something extra kind of push you to the side a little, like a gust of wind, and there's a lurch as you cough on the shot, but it steadies and cuts the rope. You see Bilgy standing there, panting on top of the roof after, visibly snapping, going, as there's a distraction. They all move out of the way. He goes under, he opens a hatch. Nice. You're just waiting while things are dark. Son, are you leaving Bilgy behind? Are you making your exit right now?
I am going... I don't know how to put it other than I want to go a safe distance away. Where I
safe
can
distance makes sense.
Pop my head out, risk being seen maybe, but if I have to come up for air, I'm not going to do it right in between all of these ships where they have great angles to shoot me. Yeah.
All right, so you're a good ways away where they might not notice you. At this point, they're expecting fish to surface, so they don't notice when there's a little bubble above the surface and it goes underneath. You notice Bilgy go underneath, and there's a wait.
Okay.
All right.
Bilgy comes back up with the barrel still, climbs off the edge of the ship, and starts swimming towards you, son. Everyone here sees this.
He still has the barrel?
Yep.
Fuck.
Gabe's having audio problems. Extra suspense.
Yeah, I know. He's really thinking. Okay.
There we go. Okay. I got it working.
Did you catch that or no?
No, Discord decided to mute you guys for some reason.
Oh.
Okay. There was a long dramatic pause, and then Bilgy came back out of the ship with the barrel and went back in the water and is swimming towards you.
With the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am giving him a a thumbs up, thumbs down, questioning.
He comes close enough to speak, and then he mumbles to you. He goes, "Look, the thing you thought is the magazine, it's the armory. That armored room, it's not a vault, it's an armored magazine. We have to, I don't know, take care of the armor plating or move the barrels or something."
Okay. So, the safe was at the back of the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's actually the magazine, and then there's the armory in the front.
Right, because the rat told me there was things it didn't like to eat in that room, which would be
Still gunpowder.
still gunpowder, but not enough.
Okay.
Move the barrels.
Well, the issue is we have a barrel right smack dab on the magazine, but it's armored. If I'm understanding correctly?
So basically, the thing you thought is the vault is actually the magazine.
Right.
So
right at the
that
back of the
thing-
ship.
So that thing won't blow because it's got the armor plating.
Right.
The thing that you thought was the magazine is actually the armory, which doesn't have enough to go up. So you could either make it so that the armory explodes, or you could compromise the the munitions vault. But in a professional capacity, and Bilgy knows this too, he does not trust someone who is not you to take care of this problem.
All right. Well,
How would we go about just drilling a hole into the armor? Would drilling a hole into the armor of the particular section, would that work?
if you make one hell of a distraction, I'll drill. I have gunsmithing. I drill into metal for a living.
Yeah.
I should be able to drill through there, right at the rudder, nice and comfy. There'll even be a barrel for me to kind of stand on, but I would make sure that they do not notice me, because I'll be a sitting duck once I get that drill going. And if we have a hole directly through to the armory, we're not going to need that second bomb. Right through to the magazine. We're not going to need a second bomb. So if you want to use that second bomb as a distraction, not a bad.
Hold on. So, get me back to zero on what you just said.
Okay, my plan is drill a hole through the magazine armor, through the wood, through the armor, so that when that bomb at the rudder explodes, there's a direct fuse line basically to allow the heat blast to go right into all that powder.
Okay, so you're picking specifically, you're building a deliberate weak point so that the other explosion kind of hits it just right within the armor plating.
Yeah.
So this is something you're doing from within the ship?
This is something I'm doing from the outside of the ship. Actually, yeah, I'm doing it from the outside of the ship. I'm gonna make basically a weak point in the small bomb and a weak point in the armor from the outside. Just really drilling at it, and so that when that bomb goes, it'll kind of direct it all through into the magazine. So scratch it. I need that second bomb.
Yeah, you get there with Bilgy holding onto the second bomb. Croquill, you're the Tuna, just keeping a circle around in case anything happens, waiting for
Tuna.
Response. You Tuna. You're the getaway driver, just sitting there in the car going...
I'm listening to tunes.
You get to the base that...
If you're gonna need me to shoot someone, you're gonna have to clearly let me know that, because I'm under the assumption right now that I'm going for non-lethal shots.
Alright, you're under the ship, and you're looking for the spot where the armor plating is, and you can't find it.
Okay. I'm looking to our scout. I'm looking to Bilgy to kind of point me in the right direction here.
Bilgy gives you a wince and points at the ladder.
He really wants him on the ship.
All right. Here we go. I start heaving myself onto the ship.
Do I see this?
All right. Yeah, so Croquill, you see them leave as well. Jane, you see Bilgy sneak back onto the ship. This time there's no reason for a distraction. He's very quick and deft, and he shapeshifts. By now he's back as a rat, and he's kind of scurrying between people's legs to cause a distraction. And then you see a fucking boomer just plap, plap, huh, huh. This pot-bellied fool in cargo shorts with no shirt on, holding a bomb.
No pants either.
And no pants, holding onto a toolkit, going, looking at either side.
Okay, clearly something the plan has gone wrong. I'm gonna look for the best person to shoot to cause a distraction.
Okay. Long odds.
Evens, of course. I got 2 6s.
Nice.
Both even. So you're going, come on, someone to shoot, someone to shoot, someone to shoot. And then you see someone tying their shoe on like the big ship, on the main ship. Right underneath, there's like a raised pallet that is in the middle of being moved down into the cargo hold that obviously like end of the workday they had left behind, covered in bricks. It's being held by a single thread. You're going to need a real nice shot for this one.
Sniper! I'm using sniper!
Snipe.
All right.
Snipe.
Okay. So that's gonna be... This is our lucky break here. Okay. $36 plus 50 doubled.
All right. You aim real close. You fire off a shot. You see it sever. As this happens, this thing comes down. The Imperial soldier like jumps out of the way, avoids a lethal hit, but midsection and like legs get just crushed by this thing. You see this actually go through the top section of the ship down into the lower one. There's a massive noise, a big cloud of dust. On the ship, Sun, you see this happen, and then you see Bilgy scurry into the dust.
Fallen.
You jump down, you're following a rat, and you hear people going, "What happened? Are you okay?" And you just move past some people, and in all the dust, they don't even notice you. Quickly, as everyone's scurrying to the middle of the ship, you're right next to like the armory here. You look, and you see like 1 lock, 2 lock, 3 lock, and you go, ah! And then Bilgy just takes out a lockpick, goes click, 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 gets the last one open. He opens it up. He gives you like a go, go, go towards the inside of the room.
Frozen again. All right. He opens it up.
He opens it up and he gives you a go, go, go.
All right. I'm running in and I'm shutting that door as quietly as you can shut a big metal door behind me.
All right. Give me a mental munitions. You need to remember in 3-dimensional space what direction you need to compromise this in.
All right. Oh God. That is a 18.
18. Do you want to spend stamina?
Yes, of course I do.
All right, it's another 7. What are you at right now? Out of curiosity, everybody.
I am at 165.
Oh god. You're feeling great!
Beamfy.
Yeah, you're feeling great. Yeah, I'm at 111.
I'm at 83.
Oh shit.
It's because you never train.
I have unfocused.
Yeah, I also took unfocused and I barely ever train. Usually I'm at 150 and I feel bad.
So, Son, you're on the inside. You shit. You shit. You sit there and go, oh fuck, and you have to like shove some barrels out of the way. You unscrew a few screws. You get your pliers. You actually bend the metal in a few places. You get it loose. You unscrew a few other bits, and then you cluster all the munitions on the compromised side of the room. A, to cover the fault, and B, because then they blow up better. After a little while, you're back out. You need to set that bomb somewhere the soldiers won't see it in daylight, but where it can be shot by Jane. At this point, the hubbub is gone. Now, some of the soldiers are going back about their business. The rest of them are tending to the massive hole in the ship. Not like a compromise that'll make it sink or anything, just a big divot in the upper deck. And, like, taking care of the wounded Imperial.
All right. Well, Bilgy's nowhere to be found. Eh? He's scampering.
Bilgy is, like, currently like skittering back and forth in front of the door as a rat.
Okay. While he's doing that, I am, so, I am gonna trust that, okay, is there any porthole or window or, like, cannon that I can see that would get a good reference from the outside for Jane to target?
Alright, you're getting a look. You're trying to situate yourself. From where you are, you could either go into the rear cannon port where a soldier might see it, or you could try to sneak it underneath the captain's chair. I'm gonna take a piss real quick.
Okay, see, what I'm thinking... Come on, this leg. Okay, if it's small enough, I'm thinking of just putting it in the cannon.
In the cannon? Okay.
And then you just have to shoot the cannon port itself.
Into the hole of the cannon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
But the cannon would absorb all of the blast.
Cannon is designed to absorb an amount of powder. This is, I'm hoping, well above that amount of powder.
But do you know that how much this cannon is designed to support?
When Will gets back, yes, I absolutely will.
Okay.
I also really like the idea of underneath the captain's chair, purely for the hilarious reasons of captain and chair going up.
Yeah,
in like cartoonish fashion.
Because even if the cannon like is not able to support this, it will take the brunt of the impact.
True. I also had the idea of putting it next to a porthole with a little sign that says Admiral's Wine, do not touch.
Okay.
And all the soldiers are just like, when was that wine there? Has that been there the entire time?
Yeah.
You don't have any paper or a pen to write that.
No, that's why he's looking at Bill G, but he doesn't have anything either.
He's a rat!
Okay, well, I have a roll that I want to make. And the roll is... Would the bomb lose too much effectiveness if I put it right in the barrel of a cannon?
Roll munitions. With plus 10.
Okay. That is
It also works with canonnier on the apparatus, too.
Okay, with plus 10, that is a 13 plus 14, which is 27.
All right. You would have to basically remove this bomb from its container and make a bomb out of a cannon, but that's your job.
All right,
You're going to need some heavy interference, though. There's already been a big distraction. You're going to need it to go on longer so nobody looks at the aft cannon for about a minute.
Or just put it under like the captain's chair or something.
Was that something Will suggested?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I cut out for that. Yeah, I'll put it under the captain's chair then, like up above on deck. Yeah, for sure.
It would technically be below, but like Bilgy leads you back around a door, and there's like the captain's office and the captain's quarters are further behind, but you look, there's just the right angle. You can see Jane's current sniper nest, but not the one with the easy retreat.
Okay. Yep, I'm putting it under the chair there. Do these windows open?
They do, yeah.
Okay, I am plunking it under the chair, like, you know, where hopefully no one's gonna see it. I am opening a window and I'm slipping my fat little body out.
Okay, so Jane, you know how to calculate like a ballistic trajectory. You see this put down a place that you could definitely hit. They even open the window for you where you have a perfect little shot, but you are not going to be able to hit this from the good sniper spot.
But I can hit it from the sniper spot I'm currently in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
All
Give
right.
me a delicate roll, son.
Listen, I work with munitions. I have pretty delicate fingers.
Yeah, but does that translate to climbing out a window?
No.
18 answer your question?
Apparently.
All right, so you slide this open. You're trying to get like your gut and your dick through. You're right at that midpoint where it's both of them and it's critical, and then you have to stop. You hear somebody walk in front of the captain's quarters. You hear, "Actually, no, I'll do it in the morning." The guy walks past, and then you shift a millimeter, and then above you hear, "Well, there was a bunch of sounds," and then they depart. Then you're like, you count to 10. Then you go, okay. And then you finish slipping through. You quietly hang. You dangle a little bit like a pendulum. Your feet touch the water, and then you pencil dive down quietly. From there, there's a tuna underneath you.
Did Bill
This
see
is
it out?
Crowquill. Bill.
So, Jane, you see Bilgy slip out of the door as well.
Okay.
Or slip out of the window. Bilgy, actually, you see, like, slip out as, like, a little tropical monkey, and then awkwardly try and close it in behind, and then leap into the water.
He closed the window?
It was closed when we got there. Listen, the captain's gonna know his shit. The captain is gonna notice every little thing that happens in his captain's quarters.
You can shoot a crossbow bolt through the window. It just means there's going to be a crashing sound when it happens.
I don't think that's gonna matter. You're like, is that some glass?
Did somebody break my glass?
What was that? Guess it was nothing. Boom!
Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind. He was crashing when he set off the nuke, so it must have been the wind.
All right, Gabe, odds or evens?
Evens. Always go with those even Stevens. I'm gonna roll a 2.
Nice.
Roll the 2.
Damn.
Rolled a 2.
So, with you falling in, you realize halfway down your fall, you cover the mouth hole to this breathing bag. You go in, and it's got a full 10 minutes. You put on your mask properly, grab on. Bilgy notices you, turns into a tuna, and you make your egress. There's a tense few minutes getting away, just going, okay, did we do it? Did we do it? And you surface with the bilge water. You and Bilgy make your way aboard. Crowquill's there waiting for you. Crowquill, you release the creature.
I release the creature and immediately look at Jane and go, how'd it go?
Just one thing. Just one thing before we do that. Before the tuna's released, before we clamber out. Are my pants still floating around the bilge water?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotta grab them and pull them up too.
So as you're sitting there going, hey, did anybody pick up my pants? You see Tiana and Ken and Ye look at each other. You know they have your fucking pants. And then they look at you and they go, I don't know where they are. I don't...
So weird.
All right then. I'll go find some new pants. Take a photo. It'll last longer.
What's a photo?
Pictograph.
Jane, you are out on a rock. You're not here.
Me?
What are you gonna... Yeah. You're still in the sniper's nest. You're like 2 hours walk away from the boat, or where the landing site is.
So... So they have to go off and deal with that second ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to come back. And then I'm going to explode the explosives, once they get back. Right? That's the plan?
The plan is for the bilge water to be... Yeah, the bilge water can dock until early morning if you want to come back. That was the plan. And then we're going to wait for the patrol boat. But when the explosions happen, the bilge water is going to be out engaging that second ship.
And you and I need to be on land.
Yeah. I need to be in the sniper's nest.
Yeah.
Okay, but am I waiting for the bilge water to get back before shooting the explosives?
No.
The key for...
The key for the explosives, because Gabe's cutting out
The
right now.
explosive key.
Okay, you cut out, and then I started explaining, and then you cut back in. What
Oh
were you
my
gonna
god.
say?
Nothing. I was.
The most intrusive laugh
It is.
ever.
I know. It's terrible.
It happens.
Okay, so somebody explain it to me again.
The explosives are meant to go off when the guard change happens.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be waiting for the bilge water, you would be hoping the bilge water takes care of the ship. You're dealing with
Right.
it when the guard change happens.
Right. Okay. All right. All right. I guess we're waiting till morning.
Alright, so you're gonna camp in the sniper's nest for the night?
Yeah, I guess so.
Should we move down a little bit further out of sight or something? Or...
Yeah. Well, let's move out of sight. I think because everything's nothing I could do about anything right now. So let's move out of sight. Get a couple hours of sleep and then come back up.
Alright. Everyone else, you're aboard the ship, you get into your bunks. After a short nighttime sail, you're around back into the bay where they wouldn't have seen you with the patrol boat. And you're just docked, you're nice and comfortable in your bunks. You lie back, you get a little bit of rest before phase 2. Jane, you're in the sniper's nest and you kind of like take your crossbow off. There's nowhere you can put it you're not going to be holding it where they're not going to see it, so you kind of awkwardly have to shuffle into your bedroll. There's nowhere to put your tent, so you kind of just put it over you, hoping it'll keep the rain off. And then you have to hold the crossbow like this and just sleep on your back.
Oh, whatever.
Alright, that's where we'll leave it.
Okay.
That was phase 1. Phase 2 is when the bombs go off, and that is going to be next week.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah. So if you guys want to see how that goes down, that's going to be on Tuesdays, the later
Yes.
half of 7 usually, at twitch.tv/Croton Live. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/Mr. Croton. And the, as of now, slightly outdated rules for this game. It takes a long time to write a book when nobody pays you. The functional rules for this game are at bloodwine.fandom.com. I'm working on some newer playtest stuff, so if that intrigues you, check out our Discords, ask some questions, you might get some answers. And is there anything big coming up?
We're playing something this weekend.
We're playing something this weekend.
Lethal League Blaze.
Point taken, we have to figure out what the Sunday stream is going to
Yep,
be.
we
Or
need-
Saturday.
We need to figure out what our Saturday stream is, but Will and I will be playing something on Saturday.
Turn of the Oberdin.
I actually own that game.
Time to play it.
Maybe, maybe not. We will see.
Yeah. I haven't played it. That could be
It's
fun.
thematic. It's ship related. It's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
mystery.
There's sales, there's piracy.
That
There's
hurts my
people
eyes.
buying.
There's actually a company out of Nova Scotia that they're like a freight company, like a sea freight, and they're going back to sailing. The whole caveat of the business is basically that like they save so much on gas, and like the modern advancements in engineering and meteorology make it so that they can plan their trips better, like with computers and shit. So like there's a shipping company out of Nova Scotia that's genuinely doing like mass cargo freight by sail now.
Oh.
There's also
Incredible.
There's
Right?
also a company out of Nova Scotia. There's a bank out of Nova Scotia that was entirely funded by Canadian pirates. It's called Scotiabank.
Scotiabank.
I like lobster!
Basically, what happened was dude did piracy and was like, I need a place to put all my monies, and so he made a fucking bank,
Hang on.
Scotiabank.
and that became Scotiabank.
Pirate Bank, Pirate Bank.
Pirate bank, pirate bank.
You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
Anyway, so yeah, come back for more of this shit.
Yep. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.